no long-range planning, or no discussion necessarily on how this would get accomplished, how this would turn from a $425,000 potential purchase to housing.
Well, there's still unanswered questions. The annexation is an unanswered question. We don't know if we buy that, whether we're going to be able to bring it into the city.
Yeah, without a legal fight the way it sounds.
They're just unanswered questions, plus I don't know if we have the money.
And I think there's also the aspect that Mr. Sexauer is, I mean, he's almost sort of waiting for somebody to say, well, would you take less? And, you know, nobody has really, at least from the city, hasn't said that to him. We've just entertained it as a request, and if you want to enter into some kind of negotiations or further talk about it, then somebody needs to go and be charged with that responsibility. At this point, we've just entertained his offer. And tonight I thought I heard something I hadn't heard before. The east part of that property is actually, if you look at the values, is the higher valued portion by far. And so the west portion is a much smaller number if, and there was somebody, he tells me, somebody looking at buying the east portion of that property, the same part I believe that they would be interested in. So there may be two suitors actually for that piece, that his interest is, he either wants to sell it all or there is no deal. I mean, which is understandable. That's his, at least that's his point that he's trying to make. And he seems pretty, he keeps bringing that up more than the money, you know. I need to sell it all. I don't want to be left with a lot here and a lot there. But all I would ask is you just give me some direction, because when he calls, I just need to answer him how you want it handled. And if no action is fine, if that's what your intent is, then I'll just tell him there was no action taken, and hence there is no response.
I don't think we have a response to it.
Well, I've got too many questions to vote by.
Ted, would you like to open a dialogue with him or not?
Sexauer?
Mr. Sexauer, or should we just let it go away?
If you can find a developer to buy that, that's in our best interest. If somebody comes in and pays him the kind of money that he wants, they're obviously going to develop it. They obviously see that there's a market here for the housing. And that would be far better for us, to stay out of the development.
And what if that developer was only interested in the east side? For whatever reason, I don't know. And I haven't met, maybe you're aware of who it is, I'm not.
No, I have no idea.
And that's what concerns me, is it almost sounds like it's someone with more of a long-range plan to do other activities there for a period of time and then hedge their bet that in 10 years or 15, it becomes more valuable to them as a community shifts closer to
How are
them.
they going to get access?
Same question that he would have.
Right.
Yeah.
So, we have no response so far.
We need to have more discussions with the village if they're serious about joint effort there.
I don't think we can do this on our own, and I think that it's very intriguing to actually maybe start opening some kind of dialogue with the village. Because we are really two siblings living under the same roof.
Well, by definition, we're not gonna do it alone. We can't do it without them.
And if they truly want to work, I think, work together on something, I think we owe it to ourselves to explore that option.
I do not remember back in the old days that they ever offered to let us annex the high density portion.
They did.
They did, then even after I was done as mayor.
Yeah. We got to that point, and then Mr. Sexauer, whatever his reasons were, he withdrew, he just stopped working. But we were at a point where we had most of those smaller lots, almost up half were identified as city, and this was village over on the right hand side.
And that was long after I was gone as mayor. I don't think we can give them an answer. We've got questions and possibilities to work with the village.
Would it be fair to tell him that we would, that we're going to pursue any of that discussion? I mean, I'm sure he'd be interested,
Well,
I just don't,
we're not just saying no, but we're looking for ways to make it happen.
okay.
Is that,
I think it would be fair to say that we're pursuing options with the village. I mean, or well, pursuing a dialogue with the village at least.
Agreed.
Mr. Bunky?
Yeah, I think Mark is, is correct. I think we have to take their offer at face value and proceed, discuss, search, look for any options that there are. The best possible solution. It may come to nothing, but it may be the start of something, so we have to take that opportunity. Do we need to, should we think about it for a while, or do we need to look for volunteers to serve on a committee?
Well, one of the parts of the meeting that did occur, which was, I think, somewhat encouraging, is, well, there were a few, normal barbs that you'd expect for past things that have happened. There were two members who stood up and said, I think it's time to let the past be gone, and we need to be open to collaboration and new negotiation. And that surprised me that they said that at that meeting. So there is some attitude there that's different than what we've seen before. And that's from members who normally would have stayed quiet and stayed on the sideline.
I just soon pursue possibilities with the village. I think it's maybe
it's in
an
our best
opportunity
interest,
to,
yeah.
heal some old wounds perhaps.
You need a motion?
Do we need a motion for this?
If we would establish a committee, I think we would.
And do we need to establish a committee to give an answer to Mr. Sexauer?
No.
I think, but right now, we're just worried about an answer to Mr. Sexauer right now. What do we, yeah, that's the whole discussion, what do we tell him?
Just tell them that we're going to be in negotiation and with a dialogue too, and with the village.
Looking at sharing the property.